Snow fell endlessly over a small village hidden deep among the northern mountains of Austria. The world was wrapped in white silence. Wooden cottages crouched beneath heavy blankets of snow, smoke curling slowly from stone chimneys into the cold air. The church bell rang faintly in the distance, its sound carrying through the frozen air like a heartbeat of warmth. In the last cabin at the end of the village, Anna sat beside a frosted window. A small candle flickered on the table, its trembling light the only thing pushing back the darkness. On a little bed beside her lay Eli, her 8-year-old son. He was pale, weak, and so still that sometimes she had to watch closely just to see his chest rise and fall. "Do you feel any better, Eli?" Anna asked softly, her voice trembling between hope and fear. Eli smiled faintly. "I'm okay, Mama. Just tired." But she knew. His cough was heavier, his breaths shorter. The village doctor had already said there was nothing more to be done. Medicine was scarce, and the long winter had locked the roads with snow. That night, when the storm howled outside, Anna knelt beside his bed. She held her hands together and prayed, her tears falling silently onto the wooden floor. "Dear Lord, I have nothing left to give you but my heart. If you can hear me, please, please save my child." The wind roared through the cracks, shaking the windows, but in the quiet between the gusts, Anna felt something. Something small, warm, and real. A spark of faith that flickered like the candle before her. The days dragged on. The snow deepened until the whole village seemed buried under heaven's weight. Anna's food supply dwindled. Every morning she broke a small piece of bread for Eli and kept only water for herself. Eli still smiled. His spirit was stronger than his frail body. "Mama," he whispered one morning, "when the snow melts, I'll be better, won't I?" "Of course, my love," she said, forcing a smile. "God loves us, so He won't let me stay cold forever." Those words pierced her heart. She wanted to believe them, but each night she sat awake, listening to his shallow breathing, and fear whispered louder than faith. One evening, after another long day of snow, Anna could no longer stay still. She wrapped herself in her old cloak and stepped into the storm. The wind bit her face, the snow nearly blinded her, but she kept walking toward the small stone church in the heart of the village. The church doors were locked, yet through the stained glass window she could see a faint glow from within. She fell to her knees in the snow, clutching the frozen handle. "Lord, I've prayed and prayed, but you are silent. My child grows weaker. If you still hear me, please give me a sign, just one sign." Only the wind answered, but as she lifted her head, she saw something. Through the colored glass, the golden light seemed to move, forming a small, shining cross upon the snow. She touched the snow where the light fell, and for a moment warmth spread through her fingers, then her arms, then deep into her chest. She closed her eyes, and for the first time in weeks, her heart was still. From that night on, something changed. Anna stopped pleading in despair. She began to pray in silence, not for miracles, but for strength. Each morning, she opened the window to let the light in. She placed her hand on Eli's forehead and whispered, "God is here, my love, even when we can't see him." Eli's condition didn't change overnight, but his eyes grew brighter. He loved listening to his mother's voice as she told him stories from the Bible. of the blind man who could see again, of the crippled who walked, of Lazarus rising from the tomb. "Mama," he asked one day, "does God hear everyone when they cry?" "Yes," Anna replied. "He hears us all, but sometimes he answers in silence." And those words, soft and trembling, became her own truth. At last, winter began to fade. The blizzard stopped. The first sunlight of the year broke through the clouds, and drops of water fell from the eaves like tiny jewels. The church bell rang again, this time joyfully, welcoming the season's rebirth. That morning, Anna woke to find Eli sitting by the window. His cheeks were pink. His eyes, once dull, now sparkled like the snow outside. "Mama," he said, "I feel warm. The snow is smiling at me." Anna rushed to him. She touched his face. It was warm, alive. His breath came steady and strong. She covered her mouth with her hands and wept. There was no voice from heaven, no shining figure in the room, only the quiet, undeniable truth that something had changed. The air seemed filled with light, and deep in her heart, a voice as gentle as wind whispered, "I have heard you." No one else heard it, but for Anna, that was enough. Spring came at last. The village awoke with color and life, flowers bursting through the soil, birds returning to the rooftops. Children ran laughing through the fields, and among them was Eli, strong and laughing, chasing sunlight across the grass. The villagers marveled. "It's a miracle," they said. "The boy who would not survive the winter is running again." Anna only smiled. She never spoke of the night at the church where the cross in the snow. Some miracles, she knew, were not meant to be explained, only remembered. Years later, people still spoke of her. The mother of the first spring, they called her, the woman whose prayers brought back the sun. Inside the village church, a new plaque was placed beneath the window. "When heaven heard her cry." Beneath the words was a small carving of a mother holding her child beneath a shower of light. And whenever someone asked her about miracles, Anna would simply smile and say, "A miracle doesn't begin when you see God. It begins when you believe He is still there, even when all else is silent."